What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and just as tradition here on the channel, today we're going to be doing a big battery life comparison between the 2022 iPhone SE, the iPhone 13, the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 12, the iPhone 11, the iPhone XR, and the iPhone SE second generation. So the new 2022 iPhone SE just recently released with a bigger battery and the A15 Bionic chip for improved efficiency. But just how much more battery life does it get compared to the previous generation iPhone SE? And more importantly, can it possibly outlast the iPhone 12 or iPhone 13? All right, so before we jump into it, let's lay out the specs to see what we're working with. So over here on the left is the iPhone SE3 with a 2018 milliamp hour battery. Then we have the iPhone 13 with a 3227 milliamp hour battery, the 13 mini with a 2406 milliamp hour battery, iPhone 12 with a 2815, iPhone 11 with a 3110, iPhone XR with a 2942, and the iPhone SE2 with an 1821 milliamp hour battery. So as you can tell from the battery widgets, we're at 100% on all phones. All are running on iOS 15.4. They're set to 60% brightness and have the exact same settings enabled across the board. We also have 100% battery capacity for all but the iPhone XR, which is at 95%. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to be using the iPhone 13 Pro as the stopwatch phone for this test, and we're going to unplug all phones at the same time, and we're going to start off with some social media, some TikTok and Instagram for a while, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so we spent about 30 minutes on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Let's go ahead and check out what our battery percentage is now on each phone. So first up, we have the iPhone SE3 at 97%, iPhone 13 at 99%, 13 mini at 98%, iPhone 12 at 99%, iPhone 11 at 94%, iPhone XR at 97%, very interesting there, and then the iPhone SE2 at 89%. So pretty interesting to see the iPhone XR beating out the iPhone 11 so far, but of course a lot of things can change and they will change. So now we're going to go into our camera and record about 30 minutes in 4K 60 FPS from both the rear and the front facing camera. All right, so after recording from both the rear-facing and the front-facing cameras for about an hour now, let's go ahead and check in on our battery percentages. So we're going to stop on all phones and check out what we're at. Let's go from right to left this time. So the iPhone SE2 is down to 56%, iPhone XR at 75%, the iPhone 11 is down to 72%, so these two are a little bit closer now, iPhone 12 at 78%, 13 mini at 68%. I also noticed that the 13 mini was getting really hot as well. We'll check in on that in a minute. iPhone 13 at 76%, and then the iPhone SE3 at 71%. And I just mentioned the temperature, so I want to check in on the temperature of the 13 mini because it was getting very hot. So about 104 degrees, and let's compare that to other phones. So yeah, everything else is around 100 or under 100. The 13 mini is by far the hottest phone right now. So the iPhone 13 is the second closest, it looks like. Everything else looks like it's under 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but the 13 mini definitely got the hottest of the bunch. And as we know, heat is the biggest enemy of these lithium ion batteries. So that definitely explains why we're down to 68% on the mini. All right, so now we're gonna do some light gaming with Crash Bandicoot. So we'll probably do this for 20-30 minutes as well and see what we're at after we play through this game. All right, so we just finished up gaming for about 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and check in on those battery percentages. So let's go back to the home screen on all devices. So we have 45%, 67%, 65%, 72%, 60%, 71%, and 63%. So the iPhone 12 is actually in the lead right now. That is very surprising to me, especially over the iPhone 13, which is brand new. This is the green color. So interesting. All right, so now we're going to move on to watching a YouTube video for about an hour. So we're going to go into the YouTube application and all phones, and we're going to watch a 4K YouTube video for just about an hour. All right, so we've been watching these videos for a while now. You can see we almost made it through this 1 hour video. So let's go ahead and check in on our battery percentages. So the iPhone SE2 is down to 23%, iPhone XR down to 53%, big difference already. The iPhone 11 at 51%, iPhone 12, let's get out of this picture-in-picture, 60%, iPhone 13 mini, 45%, iPhone 13, 59%, and iPhone SE 3, 40%. Now we're going to move on to some web browsing. So we're going to go to the same site on all devices. We're going to click on some links, go through the actions of basically sending somebody a text message of an article we just read, and just things you typically do in a day-to-day basis on your iPhone. I'm going to try to emulate real-world usage while also trying to drain these batteries. And there we go, down goes the iPhone SE 2020. So as expected, we all probably expected the SE to go down first. As far as heat goes, not too hot. It's pretty warm, but it's not hot by any means. I definitely think that the iPhone 13 mini will be the hottest one of all, but we'll see once that one dies. So we'll continue watching these videos, and let's check in on the battery percentage of all the phones now that we have one down. So the iPhone XR is down to 37%. Actually, I have the widget. I don't need to do that. So we're at 35%, 46%, 29% on the 13 mini. On the 13, we have 46%, and then on the iPhone SE 3, we're down to 23%. And it's going to be very interesting to see if the iPhone SE 3 can beat out the iPhone 13 mini. It's not looking like it right now, but we've had battery tests before where underdogs come back and win the battery test. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. And down goes the iPhone SE 3rd generation, just over 5 hours into the battery test. So it seems like the camera really wears on the iPhone SEs. Both of them really took a hit after recording video. And checking in on the other iPhones, we can see here the iPhone 13's at 26%, 13 mini at 6%, 12 at 25%, iPhone 11 at 11%, iPhone XR at 14%. So it looks like the 13 mini is going to be the next to go unless something crazy happens. And down goes the iPhone 13 mini, just about 45 minutes after the new 2022 iPhone SE. So the iPhone 13 mini, that makes all of the small phones eliminated, all of the white phones also eliminated. Let's go ahead and check out the temperature of this because this thing was getting so hot this whole test. The iPhone 13 mini was getting extremely hot. So 98 degrees on the front. What do we have? 90, 95. Let's see how that compares. So it looks like it's about the same right now. It was really getting hot when we were recording video and playing games, but I guess when watching YouTube videos, it didn't get as hot as it did during those other tasks. So just one thing that I found interesting to keep in mind with the iPhone 13 mini, it is easily the phone that got the most warm during this test, but just under 6 hours, pretty impressive for such a small phone. And checking in on the other phones, we have the iPhone XR at 6%, the iPhone 11 at 4%, the iPhone 12 at 17%, and the iPhone 13 at 18%. So these two have just a 1% difference pretty much the entire time. So I cannot wait to see who wins between the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 12. And keep in mind, this iPhone 13 is brand new. It's the green one. I haven't even used it at all. And the iPhone 12 I've been using for a year now. So pretty impressive that it's, holding its own against the iPhone 13. And there goes the iPhone 11. So around 6 hours and 13 minutes, and it lasted just under an hour more than the iPhone SE 3. So these two are in the similar price range on Apple's website right now to buy brand new. The iPhone 11 and the iPhone SE are, and the iPhone 11 lasted almost an hour longer in battery life, and it has the better design in my opinion. Oh, and not to mention you have two cameras instead of one. So the iPhone 11 is looking like a better deal right now than the iPhone SE is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the temperature. It's about 97 degrees right there, so not too hot, but can we take a minute to just appreciate the iPhone XR? I mean, this battery life is unreal. So let's take a look at what it's at. So it's at 3% right now, but the fact that it's outlasting a 2022 phone and the iPhone 11, and it's up there with the iPhone 12 and 13 right now, is just crazy. And finally, down goes the iPhone XR, but not without a fight, lasting around 6 hours and 40 minutes. So a 2018 phone and a 2022 battery test still finishing within the top 3. That is just so impressive from, again, one of my favorite phones of all time, the iPhone XR. Let's check out the temperature. It doesn't even feel warm to the touch. I mean, it feels very cool. What do we have here? 91 degrees? Yeah, I mean, not bad at all for the iPhone XR, and really just speaks volumes about this phone and the value, especially with the price you can get it at here in 2022. I don't think there's a better phone on the market right now, dollar for dollar wise, than the iPhone XR. So let's check out what we're at with the iPhone 12 and 13. So iPhone 12 at 7%, iPhone 13 at 10%. So it looks like the iPhone 12 is finally starting to fall a little bit behind the iPhone 13 here, but let's see what happens, because it's been all over the place throughout this battery test. And down goes the iPhone 13. Wow. So the iPhone 13 just went down at around 7 hours and 11 minutes. And last standing is the iPhone 12. So let's go ahead and get a temperature read on the brand new green iPhone 13. So around 98 degrees. So definitely on the warmer side, which would explain why it may have died before the iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 must not be as hot. And our champion, the iPhone 12, finishes a few moments later at around 7.5 hours. Super impressive. Super unexpected. Let's get a temperature read on this. So it's definitely running cooler than the iPhone 13 and a lot of the other phones as well, which would explain why this beat out the iPhone 13. But that was unexpected, super surprised, and congrats to all you iPhone 12 owners out there. You should be getting pretty good battery life against the competition. All right, so let's recap exactly what happened. So in 7th place was the iPhone SE2 with an on-screen time of 3 hours and 49 minutes. In 6th place is the iPhone SE 3rd generation, which is the one that came out in 2022. This got 5 hours and 16 minutes. 5th place went to the iPhone 13 mini, which got 5 hours and 55 minutes. iPhone 11 got 4th place with 6 hours and 13 minutes. And the phone that constantly amazes me, the iPhone XR, got 3rd place with 6 hours and 40 minutes. And 2nd place was the iPhone 13 with 7 hours and 10 minutes. And 1st place, even here in 2022, is the iPhone 12 with 7 hours and 31 minutes. So you guys have to let me know down in the comments below. Is this exactly how you expected it to go, or what were you surprised by? I would be very impressed if somebody were to guess the order correctly at the beginning of the video without cheating. So let me know your thoughts down there in those comments. As always, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. I spent over 7.5 hours recording this, and it's going to take another 10 hours to edit. So I would really appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up for bringing you guys these battery test videos. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I will be doing an iPhone 14 battery test video later on this year. So definitely stay tuned for that one. I'm sure that will be a doozy as well. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. I need to go to bed now. I'll see you soon.